You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, woo, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down. Woo!
You are watching the leaders in full immersion gaming, and this is the pregame show only on the NBL Network.
The Super Bowl for season 28 will be filled tonight, folks. A huge night here on the NBL Network. It's doubleheader action, AFC Championship and NFC Championship right here on the network. We appreciate each and every one of you tuning into the NBL Live pregame show that's brought to you each and every week by our graphic sponsor, Web3ks.com. If you watch the NBL Network, you see their fingerprints are all over everything we've done. They're super easy to work with, and my favorite part is they're super affordable. So if you or anyone you know needs graphics done for an affordable price, head over to Web3ks.com. They are the leaders in affordable graphic design. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight, folks. I'm OSU. I'm hanging with my man, Hob. We got doubleheader action. A huge night here on the network, starting off with the AFC Championship game, and it's an AFC North showdown between the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hop. These two teams know each other very well. They split the regular season series 1-1. But we know how tough it is when you face a division foe inside of the playoffs. It's a totally different animal. I know a lot of people are going to be leaning towards the Pittsburgh Steelers, but I have a feeling this one's going to be closer than the experts think.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a really close game. I watched the first game this season as the Browns beat the Pittsburgh Steelers, and Jameis Winston was very good in that game. So I'm looking forward to seeing how he reacts in playoff action.
Speaking of the Browns, if you missed broadcast number 161 here on the NBL Network, go check that one out after the doubleheader. We had a great game here between the Browns and the Titans. The Cleveland Browns coming out on top 33-20, and Hop, a big reason that they did was because of Isaiah Crowell. I mean, this is a guy who's not having the season I know that he hopes he would be having, but he sure had a huge coming out party yesterday in this divisional championship game. 12 carries, 147 yards, 2 touchdowns. His first carry, he took 70 yards to the house. And really, this one, I mean, it ended up a 13-point game, but this one, the Browns were in control pretty much the entire game, and a lot of that was due to Isaiah Crowell.
Yeah, and that's going to be a big key to the Browns' success today. They're going to have to get Crowell going and get him going early so that Jameis Winston doesn't have to shoulder the whole offense like he has most of the season this season in 28.
Yeah, and speaking of Crowell, he's one of our players to watch for the AFC Championship game. Looking at those numbers, certainly down from where he'd want them to be. Only 603 rushing yards, 153 attempts, 3.9 yards per carry. Now, again, he was injured for part of the season, but that average per carry of 3.9, not where he wants it to be. 6 touchdowns, 84 yards out of contact, only 2 fumbles. This is a guy who's been one of the more reliable running backs. Injuries sort of derailing his season, but, I mean, how concerned are you if you're a Browns fan? I mean, which guy, Isaiah Crowell, are they going to get tonight? Are they going to get the one that's going for 3.9 yards per carry during the regular season, wasn't really a reliable rushing back and somebody who couldn't stay healthy? Or are they going to get the Isaiah Crowell they saw yesterday against the Titans, who goes for $147 and 2 touchdowns and looked unstoppable?
You know, I think after they seen him yesterday, that's going back to the season before Isaiah Crowell. So he's averaged he's had 33 touchdowns in the last 2 seasons. He's averaged right around six yards a carry and had almost 3,000 yards in 2 seasons. He's been really injury prone. I think he's finally getting healthy, and they're going to see the real Isaiah Crowell tonight.
Well, those Cleveland Browns have a pretty tall task on their hands. It's taking down the one-loss Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, credit to the Browns. That one loss was to Cleveland early in the season, but this Steelers team has been one of the hottest teams ever since that loss. A lot of that is due to this balanced attack. They have Le'Veon Bell, I mean, only 733 rushing yards, but this is a pass-first team, and you can see 6.8 yards per carry and 10 touchdowns, 158 yards after contact, or, again, shout out to our graphics guy, after contact. I don't know what that is. I think that's after you touch a conch shell on the beach. 158 yards after that. That's impressive. And no fumbles. Le'Veon Bell's a sure-handed guy, Hop, and this is why the Steelers are so tough, is because the minute you focus on their passing attack with their star wide receivers and Ben Roethlisberger, Le'Veon Bell hits you in the mouth.
Yeah, and shout out to Kyle Flatmiller. He never fails to impress, but Le'Veon Bell is he's a very good back. He's one of the best backs in the NBL, and like you said, he's not their first option. I mean, they have 3 receivers that went over 1,000 yards this year, so they really don't need it, but when they need yards and short third down conversions, he's always there to be able to pick them up.
Yeah, great game we have on here, folks. Two guys who have been in the Super Bowl before. Owner Z-Star of the Cleveland Browns looking to get back to the Super Bowl for the first time in, we're looking at 6 seasons at this point, since season 22. And, well, it's been a little shorter for Lip and the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're looking for back-to-back Super Bowl championships, back-to-back Super Bowl appearances, and this would be Lip's 5th. Is he looking for 5th or 4th?
This would be his 5th.
This would be his 5th, right? He's got 4. That's why it continues to amaze me at how much Lip has done in this league with the teams that he's had. Looking for his 5th Super Bowl championship here in the NBL. Get your predictions in the chat, folks. We're about ready to send it out of the game. Hop, let me get your prediction. Do we have a miracle in the making? Are the Cleveland Browns going to somehow pull out their 2nd win over the Pittsburgh Steelers this year? Or the Pittsburgh Steelers going to do what they've done pretty much the entire season, dominate up front, win the game, and move on and try to get back-to-back Super Bowl titles?
I really like this Browns team. They're a good team, but that's just it. They're a good team. This Pittsburgh Steelers team is a great team. I think they come out with win 35-21. They pretty much handle the entire game, and they move on to see if they can get their 5th championship. Yeah,
should be a great game, folks. Again, doubleheader action here on the network. So if you're just joining us, we will have the NFC Championship game following this one at 8:30 Eastern Time. We'll take down the stream for just a quick second afterwards to switch everything over, but we'll be right back on with a quick pregame show for that NFC Championship game. But let's fill one seat in the Super Bowl for Season 28, folks, here in Broadcast 162. Coming up next, it's a battle of division foes. One seat in the Super Bowl is up for grabs. It's the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's coming up right now here on NBL Live.
My name is Rex Dixon.
Jake Stein.
Clint from EA Sports.
You're watching NBL.
You're watching the NBL Network.
And you're watching the MBLN Network.
Empty backfield for Atkins. He's going to be dropping back to pass here on 4th down. He's looking deep over the middle. He has a man. It's Brandon Cooks. Who catches it, makes a man miss.
Oh, that's
Woodard is
touchdown.
dropping back. He's got open over the middle.
Wow. That big playmaker
Look
ability
at
as
him
he
go.
finds him again.
Into the end zone. Another touchdown. The AFC Championship is about to get underway, folks. One of these two teams will represent the AFC in the Super Bowl for Season 28. Thanks for hanging out with us, folks. I'm OSU. I'm hanging out with my man, Hop. Got a great game on tap for you today. It's the 13-3 Cleveland Browns facing off against the 15-1 in the regular season Pittsburgh Steelers, champions of the AFC North. Hop, I mean, this is an unbelievable game, and I'm looking at the predictions in the chat, and I'm noticing an interesting pattern. We got Shadow Rose saying 35-17 Steelers. We got Entrain saying 42-24 Steelers. The only Cleveland Browns picks I've seen so far are from guys who aren't in the NBL. Grid guys, some of our viewers out there who love watching the NBL Network. Appreciate each and every one of you, Hop. This is just an example, I think, of the guys who are in the NBL and who've had to face off against this Pittsburgh Steelers team. They know just how good this team is, and it's hard to really comprehend how dominant the Steelers team is until you've seen them on the field.
Yeah, I mean, this Big Ben and the Pittsburgh Steelers, they're just on a whole nother level right now than anybody else in the NBL. I actually seen Deca went Browns 24-20, so...
Yeah, but Deca's wrong about everything.
There go.
Well, it's the Deca curse. I don't know if it's still around. It used to be a thing. I think Deca actually predicted a couple things right. For a while, it's whoever he picked lost. So if we go with that play, then Deca is picking the Pittsburgh Steelers as Tyler Porter being just a jerk, going 31-30. I don't know how exactly 31-30 is going to happen, but if Porter is right, he looks brilliant with that 31-30 score. Colster going 23-20. Browns, Pricey, 24-14. Pittsburgh. A lot of people predicting a close game in this one. Again, folks, one loss for the Pittsburgh Steelers in the regular season. It was to this Cleveland Browns team early in season 28. It's a whole different game, though, now. 2nd and 10 for the Cleveland Browns on offense. Jameis Winston in the shotgun. He's got Isaiah Crowell to his right. Play action pass for Jameis Winston. Pressure coming from behind, and down goes Winston. Bud Dupree getting in the backfield and bringing down Jameis Winston for this first sack of the game. Nobody open over the middle. And that's an underrated part of this Pittsburgh Steelers team. Hop, we've seen this team struggle in the pass defense in seasons before, but as this season has come down at the end and they've gotten into the playoffs, this pass defense is playing at the highest level I've ever seen it.
Yeah, I mean, that was always the key to beat the Steelers, if there is a key to beat this great team. But it was always you got to pass and you got to get the first downs going on them. But now with them playing great pass defense, it's very, very hard to move the ball on this good team.
Now a 3rd and long. Let's see if Cleveland plays it conservative or if they try to get this one down the field. A dangerous spot here for Jameis Winston and the Cleveland Browns. Winston taking the snap on 3rd and 18. Steps up, looks over the middle into triple coverage. Well, that was by far not a safe throw, Hop. He looked to pick up the first down, but chose the guy who was bracketed by 3 different Pittsburgh Steelers, and Cleveland's going to be forced to punt.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about the running backs before the game, so that was the key. It's going to be the key to the success is to get them going early. And what do? They come out 3 straight passes, 2 incompletions, and a sack, and they're giving the ball right back to this high-powered offense. Yeah,
Pittsburgh taking the punt. They'll have the ball at the 32-yard line. We can see this Pittsburgh Steelers offense so good. 3rd overall offense in the NBL, 2nd in the pass, 23rd in the rush. But that does not give any indication as to how good this rushing game is with Le'Veon Bell. They're just a pass-first offense. They always have been. As it's going to be Ben Roethlisberger, the ageless wonder under center. Hands it off to Le'Veon Bell, and nice job there by the Cleveland Browns getting the backfield and bringing down Bell for a 3-yard loss. We talked about Myles Garrett yesterday, Hop, and how good this Cleveland Browns offensive line is, but Emmanuel Ogbah on the other side, those 2 guys are going to try to create some havoc in this Pittsburgh rushing attack.
Yeah, we've seen the Steelers play a ton of times. We know they like to come out, run first early, and then get into the passing game, but I'm not so sure how good they're going to be able to run against this great Browns defensive line.
Yeah, they really stifled a powerful Tennessee Titans offense yesterday. As on 2nd and 13, Ben Roethlisberger in the shotgun, 3 wide receivers, 2 to the right, 1 over to the left. They're going to hand it off to Le'Veon Bell over the right side, trying to find some room, and he does. He gets up to the 37-yard line, getting 8 yards back, and bring up a 3rd and 5. We'll see what Pittsburgh does with this rushing attack. Hoppy, talk about it. Pittsburgh tends to wait to get to that rushing back until the second half, but early in this game, they're giving the ball to Le'Veon Bell against this Cleveland Browns front that is so good. Now a big 3rd and 5. Shotgun formation, 5 wide receivers, empty backfield for Ben Roethlisberger. Looks like they're trying to set up a quick screen, and great penetration by Myles Garrett. Gets in the throwing lane and forcing Pittsburgh to punt this one away. Textbook play by the defensive line, stopping that quick wide receiver screen.
And, you know, we talk about Myles Garrett, Emmanuel Ogbah, the great edge rushers for this Browns, but I think a real big key to their defensive line is the inside. Danny Shelton, Darius, those are great, really strong rushers that they have that really good at stopping the run.
Another turn by Cleveland up past the 25, up past the 30, some room over there. Makes a man miss, gets to the 40-yard line. Good field position and nice return on the punt. Now a 1st and 10 for the Cleveland Browns. Hop, a lot of people in the chat pointing out, we saw the Cleveland Browns come out and throw the ball 3 straight times. What do you think of the play calling on that first drive?
Yeah, I did not like it. I wanted him to get Crowell started early, let him get some yards under him so he has some confidence against this team, but look for him to come out with 1, 2, maybe 3 straight runs to start this drive.
1st and 10 for the Cleveland Browns. Play action pass as Jameis Winston looking to throw once again. Nobody open, but he's got a lot of green space. He's going to take off and take a big hit at the 48-yard line. Winston not getting down. This is a guy who has struggled with injuries in the past, Hop. I'm sure if you're the Cleveland Browns coaching staff, you don't like seeing Jameis Winston take hits like that.
No, I mean, you never like to see your franchise quarterback take hits like that to the knees. That's a very scary run by Jameis Winston. You want to see him just slide down there and get the yards, slide down, and move on to the next play.
Jameis Winston in the shotgun, 3 wide receivers, 2 over to the left, 1 over to the right. Josh Gordon now going in motion from the left side to the right side. It's Jameis Winston in the gun. He's going to take the snap on 2nd and 3, hand it off to Isaiah Crowell, cuts it up the middle. He'll get to the 49-yard line, get the first down for the Cleveland Browns. Isaiah Crowell, such a big game yesterday. He's a key for the Browns today.
Yeah, they got to get him going right now. 1 rush out of 5 plays. I really like to see him just keep going and keep grinding Crowell down the field and at least get a field goal out of this possession.
Yeah, that'd be big for the Cleveland Browns just to get on the board first here on the road. 1st and 10. Play action pass. Jameis Winston looking over to the right side for Josh Gordon, making that safe catch at the 33-yard line. Gordon having a nice season for the Browns. Hop. You know, this was a guy who was a #1 receiver for a long time. Now with Zach Demench, he's sort of been moved into the slot, and that's been a perfect place for Josh Gordon.
Yeah, I really like him being in the slot. It takes a lot of, lets him just go against a lot worse cornerbacks and sometimes linebackers where he can create separation and be a big playmaker.
Now 1st and 10 for the Cleveland Browns. As Winston's going to drop back into the pistol formation, bunched 3 to the left side, 1 tight end on the right. That's David Njoku and Isaiah Crowell in the backfield. They're going to hand it off to Crowell, trying to get something going. Not a whole lot there. Nice early penetration by this Pittsburgh Steelers defense.
And I really like what this defensive line for Pittsburgh is doing. They haven't ran much against them yet, but both times they ran, they took out his legs, like took away his trucking ability, because that's where Crowell is going to get his big yards after contact. He's going to run over people, he's going to run through people, and then move along to the next level.
And now a 2nd and 10 for the Cleveland Browns. Ball on the 33-yard line, shotgun formation for Jameis Winston. Bunch formation, 3 to the right. Zach Demanch, the only one over on the left side. Isaiah Crowell to the left of Jameis Winston. He's going to get the ball, try to cut up the middle, but not a whole lot of room there. Lots of traffic on the inside. Pittsburgh winning that battle up front early. Stephen Tuitt able to bring down Isaiah Crowell. Now a big 3rd and 9 for the Cleveland Browns, knowing that a turnover is the last thing they need in this 3rd and long.
You know, I don't like what the Pittsburgh Steelers did right there. They moved Artie Burns up. He was pressing the young receiver DeMonche. I'd like to see the Browns try to take a shot underneath. They keep pressing up on him. He's a speedster. We like to get him out in the open field. Let him take a shot.
3rd and 9, shotgun formation for Jameis Winston. Looking, pressure's coming. Winston balls out. It's a fumble. It's rolling around out there. It's picked up by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Stephen Tuitt recovers the fumble, and Pittsburgh forces the first turnover of the game with that pass rush that got to Jameis Winston.
Oh, man, I thought he was going to pick that up and run to the house, but he just couldn't grab it. Oh, man.
Yeah, it almost looked like that was going to be a scoop and score. That's why they tell you just to fall on the ball, because they're lucky none of the Cleveland Browns were able to get back and pick that one up. As this pass is underneath, it is complete. He's got a lot of room. He's up to the 20. One man to beat, spin move. And he's taken down from behind at the 11-yard line. 42 yards on that play. And that's why turnovers are so deadly when you're playing the Pittsburgh Steelers. One underneath pass to Martavis Bryant, and they're already inside the red zone at the 11-yard line. Ben Roethlisberger comes out, 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. Le'Veon Bell in the backfield as Roethlisberger under center. He drops back to pass on 1st down. Look at the back of the end zone. Has a man. Touchdown Steelers. The first points of the game go to your defending Super Bowl champion Pittsburgh Steelers. 2 plays off the fumble and 1 touchdown for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
That's what makes this team so scary. They can score so fast. They just covered 50 yards in 2 plays like it was nothing. You cannot lose the turnover battle against this team and expect to win this game.
Well, yeah, turnovers are going to be a key to this game. Everybody said if the Browns are going to win, they're going to have to play mistake-free football. They've already made 1 mistake with the Jameis Winston fumble. Now the Browns are going to have to play from behind here on the road. 1st and 10 for the Cleveland Browns. We appreciate everybody tuning into NBL Live. Broadcast number 162, doubleheader action here on the network. We got the NFC Championship game coming up next after this game. It's the Detroit Lions facing off against the New Orleans Saints. Should be a great game. Again, that'll be following this one, but we got a lot of game left here. 7-0 Pittsburgh on top. Jameis Winston in the shotgun, 3 wide receivers, 2 over to the left, 1 over to the right. Winston dropping back to pass. He looks over to the left side. It's Corey Coleman. He's open. He's got a lot of room. Makes 1 man miss. Makes another man miss, but steps out of bounds at the 28-yard line. Looked like he might have had an opportunity to house that one. Got a little too tricky with the agility there, but a nice big play to settle down this Cleveland Browns offense.
Yeah, and I really like him coming right back and giving the ball to Jameis Winston, letting him throw it. I thought after that turnover they might rely on Crowell a little bit more, but they trust this quarterback. That's their franchise quarterback. Let him go out there and make some plays.
Now 1st and 10 for Jameis Winston and the Cleveland Browns. Isaiah Crowell in the backfield, 2 wide receivers out there. So on 1st down, it's a handoff to Crowell. He goes over the left side. He's got some room. He's got a 1st down and more. Taken down at the 12-yard line. 16 yards on the play. And finally, they did what they had so much success with against the Titans. Hop. They didn't try to run it between the tackles. Tried to use a little misdirection. And Crowell was able to use that speed and get to the outside.
Yeah, and that's the good thing. I really thought with these linebackers that the Pittsburgh Steelers had, it's going to be very hard to get the edge. But right there, he made it look easy, OSU.
Yeah, 1st and 10. Jameis Winston passes it underneath to Corey Coleman. Another spin move. Can't get past the defender, though. But he got 8 yards on the play. Maybe 9. Gets it up to a 2nd and 1. Well, this is the Cleveland Browns offense we've been looking for. 6th in the NBL. They are having a nice drive here. First 2 drives, 3 and out on the first one. Second one ending with a sack fumble off of Jameis Winston, picked up by Stephen Tuitt. Then 2 plays later, Pittsburgh was in the end zone. Now 2nd and 1 for the Cleveland Browns. 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. It's a handoff to Isaiah Crowell, who tries to cut it up the middle. And look at him power through the defender and into the end zone. 2 yards out. The Crow has been revived, folks. He may have been missing during the regular season, but in the playoffs, it's been Crow time for the Cleveland Browns as the extra point is up. It's good. It's a tie ball game here in Pittsburgh.
Oh, man, OSU, he just looked like a man among boys right there as he just walked his way into the end zone. Anytime the Cleveland Browns get into the red zone, they better give it to Isaiah Crowell every time because he's going to get you all the way in there.
All right, well, let's all settle down. Everybody take a deep breath. I need like a Xanax or something. I got to go take a nap. After that, 7-7 your score after a fairly innocuous first couple of drives. We've had an explosion of scoring as we're nearing the end of the first quarter. Pittsburgh now with the ball. Let's see if the Cleveland Browns defense can hold this Pittsburgh offense. They did not do it on their last drive. Good field position. It only took them 2 plays to get into the end zone. A long play from Martavis Bryant, and then a nice pass from Ben Roethlisberger to the back of the end zone. Got him in this end zone in just under 30 seconds. It's a play action pass for Ben Roethlisberger. He's got a man open. He's got a lot of room. 40. He's got the 30. Antonio Brown to the 20. To the 10. Nobody's catching AB. Only 3 seconds left. He needs touchdown. Pittsburgh Steelers, excuse me, as Antonio Brown takes that one to the house.
I mean, what can be going through the head of the defensive coordinator for the Cleveland Browns right now? They just gave up like 140 yards, 14 points on 3 plays in the last. I don't know what they're going to do to be able to stop this high-powered offense.
Oh, Lord, that one went to the house, and that's why this team is so hard to play against. 1-on-1 with Antonio Brown. You're going to lose that. I don't care who you have on the defensive side of the ball. As we've had an explosion of scoring, 14-7, Pittsburgh on top now. As we finally reach the end of the first quarter, that last minute and a half lasted about 7 real-life minutes as they were scoring nonstop. Now Cleveland's offense going to have to respond to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Real nice drive last time out. Just at the end of the day, the Pittsburgh Steelers offense is on fire right now. So, Hop, it looks like if Cleveland's going to have a chance, they're going to have to win a shootout.
And, you know, we talked about how good Cleveland's offense has been. They have a good running game. They have a great passing game now, but I really don't think they have the firepower to win a shootout against this great Pittsburgh Steelers team. It's going to be really interesting to see how Jameis Winston handles playing behind the whole game.
Yeah, it sure seems like if they get into a shootout, that plays right into the Pittsburgh Steelers' hands. 1st and 10 for the Cleveland Browns. Jameis Winston dropping back to pass, looks underneath for the tight end, David Njoku. Catches at the 26-yard line, give him 5 yards on the play. Njoku had a real nice game yesterday, Hop. Had a couple catches for this Cleveland Browns team. Sort of was that safety blanket for Jameis Winston. Some sure hands from the very young tight end.
Yeah, Jameis Winston has a lot of speedy receivers that can create great separation downfield, but when all that's covered up, Njoku's a very speedy, sure-handed tight end that can be a great safety blanket, as you said.
And now 2nd and 5 for the Cleveland Browns. 4 wide receivers out there for Jameis Winston. Play action pass. He's had a man wide open on the left side, but instead he goes over to the right side, finds Josh Gordon out of bounds at the 48-yard line. Nice pitch and catch there from Jameis Winston, who so far has looked pretty on target today.
Yeah, Josh Gordon having a great game. That's already his 3rd catch of the day. He's looking like he's going to win that slot cornerback matchup. Look for him to keep going back to Josh Gordon as much as he can, as long as he keeps creating this great separation that he has been.
Yeah, these wide receivers on both teams, so athletic. It's going to be up to the cornerbacks of the Pittsburgh Steelers to win some of these one-on-one battles. As David Njoku coming in motion from the right to the left, it's going to be a handoff to Isaiah Crowell. Nice room on the left side. He's got a 1st down and more up to the 35-yard line. 13 yards on the play. Isaiah Crowell, known as sort of a speedy back, showing his muscle today as he powers through the Pittsburgh Steelers secondary.
Yeah, that was a great run by Crowell, but I really like what the Pittsburgh linebacker did right there. Instead of going for the tackle right away, he made sure he pushed Crowell back inside and made him go to the other defenders instead of letting him hit the sideline like he likes to do so much.
Yeah, now 1st and 10 for the Cleveland Browns. Bunch formation, 3 to the right, 1 over to the left. Another counter play for Isaiah Crowell. He's got a lot of room out there, outrunning his own blocker, David Njoku, but he gets another 1st down. Give him 11 yards on the play up to the 25-yard line. Pittsburgh having a little trouble stopping this rushing attack from the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, and they are going after Crowell's legs this game. I want to see how many more hits like that can he take before he coughs the ball up.
Yeah, Crowell, a sure-handed running back, but you take too many big hits, eventually something's going to come loose. It's now 1st and 10. They're just outside the red zone on the 25-yard line. Coleman coming to motion from the right to the left. It's going to be Isaiah Crowell right up the gut. Look at him fight through tacklers. He's still spinning, stumbling and gets to the 16-yard line. 9 yards on the play, just couldn't stay on his feet, but another beautiful run from the Crow and this Cleveland Browns rushing attack.
Man, I thought he was just going to spin right out and walk his way into the end zone. It looks like he just spun himself dizzy and fell right down. Oh, man.
Now 2nd and 1 for the Cleveland Browns. They break the huddle. Jameis Winston comes out under center, 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. Isaiah Crowell still in the game at halfback. As it looks like Jameis Winston surveying the defense. He's going to move the tight end DeValve over to the right side with David Njoku. As Jameis Winston drops back, hands it off to Isaiah Crowell. He'll get the necessary 1 yard, a little more. Give him 4 on the play. 9 carries, 62 yards, and a touchdown. That's a stat line you're pretty happy with if you're the Cleveland Browns. They have established this rushing game early and should open up the passing attack for Jameis Winston.
Yeah, now we're getting to this red zone, this 10 yards that we say, give it to Crowell, but now he's got it like the last 4 plays, so he's got to be a little tired, so look for a little play action or look for Duke Johnson to come in this game.
Oh, it's the AFC Championship game. I don't think Isaiah Crowell gets tired. 1st and 10, play action pass, toss it off underneath to DeVal, the tight end, who powers over a defender, able to get to the 4-yard line, bring up a 2nd and 1. And so far, while Pittsburgh has been a very explosive offense, scoring in only a couple of plays, Cleveland very methodical working down the field. They've got a 2nd and 1 now on the 4-yard line, called the 3.5. Big formation out there, 2 tight ends on the left side, 2 wide receivers out there. Hand off to Isaiah Crowell. Get into the end zone, big fella. 2nd touchdown of the day for Isaiah Crowell. He's got 4 in his last 2 games. The playoff has awakened the beast inside of Isaiah Crowell.
Oh, man, he only had 6 all year this year. He's already got 4 in the last 2 games. Pittsburgh better watch out. They don't learn how to contain Isaiah Crowell this game.
Oh, he is having a fantastic game so far. He's a big reason why this is a tie ball game, 14-all. But now the Cleveland Browns defense is going to absolutely have to find something that works against Pittsburgh because Pittsburgh's run 3 plays in their last 2 drives. They have 2 touchdowns. I mean, that's how good they have been. Antonio Brown went 70 yards to the house. And on the drive before, they only needed 2 plays to get there, including a long 48-yard play to Martavis Bryant. Cleveland's defense, the number 5 defense in the NBL, is going to have to stand tall against this Pittsburgh Steelers offense. 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers for Ben Roethlisberger. Le'Veon Bell in the backfield, 3:14 to go. Ben Roethlisberger dropping back to pass, looking. Wow, he's just going to dump this off over the middle to Le'Veon Bell. Great coverage downfield. I know he was looking for another big play. Cleveland recognized that and really tightened up the secondary, able to hold it only a 6-yard gain.
Yeah, and both big plays that Pittsburgh have so far has came off a man defense from Cleveland. So I was going to say look for Cleveland to get into some soft coverage, blanket out, but Big Ben is so good at reading coverage that it's so hard to sit back in his zone because he's going to pick it apart every single time almost.
Now 2nd and 4 for the Pittsburgh Steelers as Le'Veon Bell runs over to the left side. Not a whole lot there. Loss of 1 on the play. Going to bring up a 3rd and 5. Big moment here for the Cleveland defense. A stop here, and all of a sudden, the momentum has shifted back to the side of the Cleveland Browns. But it's so hard to stop Pittsburgh in these 3rd and intermediates.
Yeah, this is a huge play. And like we said, these 3rd and shorts, 3rd and intermediates, this is where they tend to go to Le'Veon Bell. But they have so many receivers that you have to cover as well. You really can't key in on Le'Veon Bell, and that's why he's so good on these short down yards.
Yeah, 5 wide receivers out there for Ben Roethlisberger. Empty backfield, 3 to the right, 2 over to the left. Roethlisberger dropping back to pass here on 3rd down. Looking, stepping up. Danny Shelton gets off his block and is able to bring down Ben Roethlisberger as he steps up in the pocket. Great coverage downfield, and the Cleveland Browns get a stop. And with 2:20 and counting, 3 timeouts, Cleveland has an opportunity to reclaim the lead and go on top in this AFC Championship game.
Yeah, this is a huge drive for Jameis Winston and the Cleveland Browns. They need points right here. I think, if I'm wrong, the Pittsburgh Steelers get ball back at half, so there's 2 minutes. They at least need to come away with a field goal here. Just no turnovers.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing for the Cleveland Browns, not turning the ball over. Something that the Tennessee Titans couldn't do yesterday against this Cleveland Browns team. The Titans, just Marcus Mariota, gave that game away with a couple big interceptions. So far, 1 turnover for the Cleveland Browns. That's that Jameis Winston fumble. He's going to have to be clean on this play. It's on 1st and 10. It's going to be Winston dropping back to pass, looking, and I don't know if he was throwing that one away or if he was trying to find the running back, but it wasn't very good either way.
His hands are sweaty. He's a little nervous right now. I mean, that ball looked like it just slipped right out of his hands.
Is there vomit on his sweater already? Is there mom's spaghetti? Is that what we're talking about here? No?
I don't know. That was just pitiful.
All right. Well, Good to know that one landed. 2nd and 10. Jameis Winston in the shotgun. 3 wide receivers to the right side. 2 over to the left for Jameis Winston as he drops back to pass on 2nd down. 4-man rush. Looks to the out route. It is complete to the tight end Njoku, who fights through a couple tackles and gets up to the 41-yard line as we've hit the 2-minute warning. Nice play there from Jameis Winston. Timing route, and David Njoku really has become a reliable target for this passing attack.
Yeah, that was a great safe throw by Jameis Winston. I think he had a receiver wide open on the corner on the other side. He went to the sure Njoku for a first down to keep the chains moving.
1st and 10 to Isaiah Crowell, who stumbles over one of his own blockers on that little round to the outside. He'll get to the 43-yard line, only 2 yards on the play. Going to bring up a 2nd and 8. We appreciate each and every one of you tuning into NBL Live broadcast number 162, AFC Championship game. We got the NFC Championship game following tonight at 8:30. Right after this game, it's the Lions and the Saints coming up, so don't miss that one here on the NBL Network. Hit that subscribe button so you know each and every time we go live. 2nd and 8 for Jameis Winston and the Cleveland Browns. As Winston dropping back to pass on 2nd down. Looks over the middle of the field. Zach DeManch with the catch at the 35-yard line. It is complete, and another beautiful throw by Jameis Winston. 217 yards of offense for this Cleveland Browns team in the first half. They look like they are rolling right now.
Yeah, we finally get to see that young star receiver for the Cleveland Browns get a catch in this game. Looked like the safety was just a step slow right there. I think that was Defensive Player of the Year this year for the AFC. He was just a step behind that pass by Jameis Winston.
1st and 10 for the Cleveland Browns. As it's 4 wide receivers out there. Isaiah Crowell in the backfield. They're going to run a little draw play with the Crow, and he's going to get a nice gain up to the 28-yard line, 7 yards on the play. Isaiah Crowell, 12 carries, 75 yards, and 2 touchdowns. That's the first half they were hoping for from this rushing attack. We appreciate each and every one of you tuning into NBL Live Broadcast 162. I'm OSU. I'm hanging out with my man, Hop. An AFC North battle here in the AFC Championship game. Pittsburgh, 1 loss on the season. It was to these Cleveland Browns. That's how much this game means to the Pittsburgh Steelers. They want to exact a little revenge for the only blemish on their record. Cleveland looking to get to the Super Bowl as well. 2nd and 3. Jameis Winston, he's going to take a sack down to the 36-yard line. Bud Dupree, what a game this fella's having. 3 sacks on the day. One of those was a strip sack on Jameis Winston, and now a 3rd and 11 for the Cleveland Browns.
Now you're the Cleveland Browns. You're going to kick off to the Steelers in 30 seconds, so it's a 3rd and long. You don't want Jameis to force it here, but at the same time, you know what kind of offense you're up against and how great adjustment-wise the Pittsburgh Steelers are coming out in the second half. So do you try to get 7 here, or are you satisfied with the 3 points, OSU?
You got to just settle for 3, because the last thing you want to do is turn the ball over or get no points out of this one. You need all the points you can against this Pittsburgh Steelers team, especially with how your defense has been playing. But that's not going to help. That's not going to help.
And now it's 3rd and 16. Now it's even worse. Now I really think you have to just hand us all a draw play, a screen play to Crowell. Just let him get into space and see if he can make a play for you.
Jameis Winston comes out. Nobody in the backfield. 3rd and 16. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. That's Njoku on the right side of that formation. Jameis Winston surveying the Pittsburgh Steelers defense, changing up the plays. He drops back fast in 3rd and 16. 3-man rush, looks over to the right side. Has the out route. What a throw to Corey Coleman, who stays in bounds and gets to the 8-yard line. Dots being thrown by Jameis Winston. That one beautifully to only where Corey Coleman could come up with a catch.
This is his first game back. He's already 3 receptions, 87 yards. Corey Coleman came to play today, but that was a hell of a throw by Jameis Winston right there on a big 3rd down. They really needed that to keep this game going.
1st and goal now for the Cleveland Browns. Jameis Winston in the shotgun. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end, dropping back to pass. Quick 3-step drop. That one, I think his palms actually may be sweaty, folks, because that one, well, that one was not anywhere near anybody who was on either team. That one just falls to the ground. Going to bring up a 2nd and goal. 22 seconds to go now. Hop, I would say the Cleveland Browns need a touchdown out of this drive.
Yeah, I mean, you're on the 8. Now you have to punch it in. It's very scary to be passing against the defense the way they have been playing, but you do have Crowell here. I mean, 8 yards is a lot. You do have 1 timeout, but if it's me, I'm giving this ball to Isaiah Crowell somewhere on the outside right now.
Yeah, get the ball in your star player's hands, how well he has been playing so far. 2nd and goal. Jameis Winston under center. He's got 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers out there. It's been Winston dropping back to pass on 2nd down. Looking. No one's open. Here comes the sack. Down goes Winston. And Stephen Tuitt, who's having a monster game as well, gets his first sack of the game. The 4th one for this Pittsburgh Steelers defense. And now, Hop, the narrative changes. Now it's all about just kick the field goal here, as they're going to take the timeout and take their 3 points and go into halftime, hopefully with a 3-point lead.
I mean, you converted on 3rd and 16. You pushed it all the way to the 8. and then you let 10 seconds run off the clock and kick a field goal. Why not just call timeout with 15 seconds left, take one more shot at the end zone there? You're already in the red zone.
So they don't want to turn the ball over. They know how important points are as the kick is up and good. And we head to halftime. The Cleveland Browns, really a disastrous start with that strip fumble and Pittsburgh scoring in 2 plays. But they have hung into this game, and they have found a way to get the stops they've needed and have a 3-point lead. 17-14. Pittsburgh's going to get the ball to start the second half. So far, the Pittsburgh Steelers, I mean, they have done exactly what they've done all year, which is score quickly. The problem has been they haven't found a way to stop the Cleveland Browns so far. On the flip side, the Browns defense has played relatively well, except for the fact that they're giving up the big play. They got to come up with some sort of adjustment to keep from giving up those big plays. Antonio Brown went 75 yards for the touchdown. Also gave up a long play to Martavis Bryant. As this handoff to Le'Veon Bell, he's got a lot of room on the left side. He'll be taken down at the 38-yard line. This is the Pittsburgh Steelers, Hop. They don't run a whole lot in the first half. They like to control it with Le'Veon Bell in the second half, but maybe one of those things that they haven't faced a whole lot this season. They're facing a deficit now. Do you expect to see a lot of Bell here in the second half?
No, I really don't. We've seen a lot of 2 tight end, 2 receiver sets from this Pittsburgh Steelers team. I look for them to spread it out, 3, 4 receivers. The matchup I'm really looking forward to this second half is going to be young receiver Howard for the Pittsburgh Steelers against cornerback Brandon Roby. That's going to be a huge factor in this game for the second half.
Yeah, 1st and 10 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Ben Roethlisberger under center. Blitz coming. It's picked up beautifully, and he finds his number 1 target, Antonio Brown, tried to make a move to the outside. Roethlisberger 5 of 6, 150 and 2 touchdowns. That's what Big Ben does. He doesn't need a whole lot of attempts to find the end zone a couple times.
You know, if you looked at the box score of this game, there's no way you think Pittsburgh is winning other than the 2 big plays they've had. Because, I mean, Cleveland has dominated the time of possession, but they just cannot stop the big plays from the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, Le'Veon Bell right up the middle. He'll get a couple up to the 40-yard line, give him 6 yards on the play. But this is what the Pittsburgh Steelers done, Hop. I mean, and this is why everybody in the NBL knows how good they are. They can score in as little time as necessary. If you're the Cleveland Browns, this is the game plan, though. Control time of possession. Don't give Pittsburgh too many opportunities, because if you do get into that sort of quick-scoring, explosive showdown, Pittsburgh Steelers are going to win that one. There's just going to be 100 points on the board. It's now a 2nd and 4 for the for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Ben Roethlisberger in the shotgun, 3 wide receivers, 2 over to the left, 1 to the right. Now on 2nd and 4, it's Roethlisberger dropping back to pass, looks over the middle, and he finds Martavis Bryant. It's a 1st down for the Pittsburgh Steelers at the 34-yard line. 6 yards on the play. Ben Roethlisberger using all parts of the field, but Martavis Bryant, we talk about Antonio Brown a whole lot. This guy, he is one of the favorite targets of this Pittsburgh Steelers passing attack because of how quick he is underneath.
Yeah, I mean, you can say favorite target, but he's got 3 of them over 1,000 yards. You really cannot key on one. That's what makes it so dangerous. You cannot key on one receiver because the next 2 are going to kill you. And then if you stop them, the tight end's going to kill you. They're a very scary, scary team.
And now 1st and 10. This is where Pittsburgh can be so good. 5 wide receivers out there. Roethlisberger dropping back to pass. He's going to hit, looks underneath it. It's complete to the 31-yard line. Give him 3 yards on the play. As Wheaton able to come up with that catch. Cleveland, you get into those empty sets. This is where Cleveland needs to be better up front, because at the end of the day, the Pittsburgh Steelers offensive line has held this talented defensive line on these 5 wide sets. They're not getting any pressure on Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah, I kind of like the adjustment Cleveland made there. They sent heat right there when they come out 5 wide. That therefore forced Ben to throw it early and not let the deep routes open up on his man coverage.
2nd and 7. Again, empty backfield for Roethlisberger. Looks over to the right side. Oh, dangerous throw underneath. Somehow caught by the Pittsburgh Steelers at the tight end. Coming up with that catch. Jesse James, his 2nd catch of the day. But a dangerous play as Julius Peppers looked fully prepared to take that one to the house.
Yeah, and this is a big play for the Cleveland Browns right here. They need to get a stop, hold them to 3, and get their offense back on the field.
Yeah, get this. Only a field goal attempt would be huge for the Cleveland Browns defense. 3rd and 6. Le'Veon Bell to the right of Ben Roethlisberger. 3 wide receivers out there as Roethlisberger dropping back to pass. Blitz coming. Looks over the middle. It's complete to Bell. Did he get enough? Did he get it? Yes, he did. They give him the 1st down. A quick toss underneath to Le'Veon Bell, and he just stretches the ball over the 1st down marker.
And that's why you play for the home field advantage in the playoffs right there, because I do not think he got that OSU. But he did have a flat wide open on the left side. But either way, Big Ben's a lot better quarterback than I am, so made the right play and picked up the 1st down.
That's a bold call there by the Browns defense. They sent a big rush there, 6-man rush, only putting 5 back in coverage. And They're lucky that it was only Roethlisberger tossing underneath for first down, because if there was any sort of pickup of that blitz, it was going to be a home run ball. And there's the home run ball on the next play. Touchdown, Pittsburgh Steelers. Martavius Bryant splits the man defense, splits the two deep safety, and puts the Pittsburgh Steelers, your defending NBL Super Bowl champs, right back on top, 21-17.
I just don't understand that call. They've come out in 5 wide almost this entire drive, and you come out in a 4-3 man coverage and put a linebacker on Martavius Bryant, probably the second best receiver in the NBL. That's a questionable call by the defensive coordinator by the Cleveland Browns right there.
Yeah, you got to find a way to sort of disguise that man coverage against this Pittsburgh Steelers team, because if you just come out straight one-on-one, two-deep man, it's a tough team to play that sort of coverage against. You got to make Ben Roethlisberger look elsewhere. As on 1st and 10, now the Cleveland Browns playing behind the 8 ball. Pittsburgh got the ball to start the second half, drove right down the field and scored. This one has been an offensive battle. Now 1st and 10 for the Browns. Jameis Winston under center, 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers for Jameis Winston and the Browns offense. Corey Coleman coming in motion. They're going to hand it to him on the jet sweep. He's got some room on the outside. It's sealed. It's a first down and more. He's got 23 yards up to the 47-yard line. Nice run there by Corey Coleman, and a great play call by the Cleveland Browns, moving that wide receiver. How speedy Corey Coleman is and getting the ball in his hands in the backfield.
Yeah, and I talked about early on in this game about how good the Pittsburgh Steelers linebackers are at containing the edge, but so far this game, Cleveland has done whatever they wanted on the outside edge in the run game.
Yeah, the run game for the Browns has been very good. Their problem has been every time they've tried to pass the ball, it's been Bud Dupree with 3 sacks, 4 sacks on the day from this whole Pittsburgh Steelers defense. That's where they've struggled, is protecting the quarterback. The run game, though, has had no trouble getting going, as Isaiah Crowell has 2 touchdowns on the game, now 2nd and 8 for the Cleveland Browns. Shotgun formation. 3 wide receivers out there, 2 over to the right, 1 over to the left. Crowell and Duke Johnson in the backfield with Jameis Winston. He's going to look for Duke Johnson. His first touch of the day, upended, but gets 9 yards on the play. Going to bring up a 3rd and 1. Nice recognition there by Jameis Winston, finding Duke Johnson, who's been a nice sort of trick weapon here for the Cleveland Browns. So good out of the backfield. Such a great pass-catching back.
Yeah, he has very, very quick feet and route running for a running back. He's very, very good to come out of the backfield and catch passes, as he did right there in the flats, and make plays.
43-yard line, 3rd and 1 for the Cleveland Browns. Let's see what they decide to do, if they go what everyone expects them to do and give the ball to Isaiah Crowell, or if they get a little tricky, maybe take a shot over the top. They're sort of in no man's land. We may be looking at 4-down territory. It's going to be a toss to Isaiah Crowell, who cuts it right back up the middle, lowers the shoulder, takes the hit from Ragland, and gets the first down at the 42-yard line. How tough is Isaiah Crowell to bring down for any sort of short game? Even when you lay a big hit on him, he's getting the yards that he needs.
Yeah, maybe he's listened to the broadcast. So I've been talking about them taking out his legs all game. So this time he gets just lower than the defender and just bowls right over top of him and gets that first down. Great play by Isaiah Crowell. And
now 1st and 10 for the Browns. 2 tight ends on the right side of that formation. 2 wide receivers for Jameis Winston, who is under center, with Isaiah Crowell in the backfield on 1st down. They're dropping back pass. Blitz coming up the middle. Free rusher. And Winston just gets the ball off before he is obliterated. That cross blitz from the 2 linebackers seemed to confuse this very talented Cleveland Browns offensive line. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 10.
When we talk about the adjustments Pittsburgh makes in the second half, we haven't seen many blitzes from them throughout this entire game. Then they need a big first down here. They know he's going to come out passing. They come out and get a big blitz and get a hit on Jameis Winston.
Now 2nd and 10 for the Cleveland Browns. Shotgun formation for Jameis Winston and the Browns. 3 wide receivers, 2 over to the left. Corey Coleman alone on the right side of that formation. Duke Johnson into the game at halfback. And penalties are killing them. Another false start for this Browns offense is going to back it up to a 2nd and 15. The second false start penalty on this side of the field.
Yeah. Penalties are really hurting the Cleveland Browns right now as they're getting on the other side of the field, the Pittsburgh Steelers side of the field. They got to clean that up come the 4th quarter.
And now 2nd and 15 for the Cleveland Browns. Jameis Winston in the shotgun, dropping back to pass on 2nd down. Looking. He goes down. It's another sack. Bad news, Cleveland, as Jameis Winston is clutching that shoulder. That was a big hit he took from the outside, that blindside sack. And Rutrow times in Cleveland. This game might have gone from bad to worse as Jameis Winston is being looked at by the trainers. In comes Cody Kessler. 4 wide receivers, 3 to the right, 1 over to the left. 3rd and 22 for the Browns as they backed up over the midfield line. They're on their own side of the field. It's on 3rd down. Blitz picked up. He finds Kenny Britt, who can't hold on to the catch through the hit. And Cleveland, who looked like they were in territory to kick a field goal and get some points, are going to be forced to punt the ball back to the Pittsburgh Steelers offense, and they may be without Jameis Winston for the game.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about how big of a hit, of course, a franchise quarterback going out that is huge, but Cleveland has built this team very well. Cody Kessler was not that bad the first 2 seasons of this cycle coming into it. He took them to the playoffs. He didn't win anything in the playoffs, but he did take them there. Jameis Winston's 20 touchdowns, 17 picks. It's not that big of a difference, but here he comes back.
Yeah, he's shaking off the trainer. He's coming back into the game. Jameis Winston, just a little tweak of the muscle, but this is the AFC Championship game. You don't sit for anything. I don't care if your arm is in 2 pieces. You're going back out there. But now the Cleveland Browns defense is going to have to come up with a stop, something they haven't really been able to do, save for 1 or 2 occasions. The Pittsburgh Steelers offense has been explosive and has been scoring at an alarming rate. It's on 1st and 10. Looks like it's going to be handoff. No, play action pass for Roethlisberger, who tosses it underneath to the tight end, James. 1st down to the 32-yard line. The Browns had the blitz called up, and they still couldn't get to Ben Roethlisberger in time.
I mean, what can you do against Ben Roethlisberger? You send an all-out blitz. He calls a long play action, and then he sees it, recognizes it, cancels it, and hits his tight end really quick. I mean, you just can't stop Ben Roethlisberger. He has 1 incompletion this entire game.
That's just what Ben Roethlisberger does, and he's been signed to another contract extension. The ageless wonder, Ben Roethlisberger, is going to be in Pittsburgh until I think he dies. Once he dies, he actually still may get another contract. As Le'Veon Bell trying to find some room on the outside, he will get to the 40-yard line, 8 yards on the play. Only 6 carries for Le'Veon Bell, but Pittsburgh has a full-point lead right now. This is where you expect Le'Veon Bell to start getting a lot of carries as we're nearing the end of the 3rd quarter. I want to give a big shout-out to our pregame sponsor and our graphic sponsor, Web3KS.com. They do a lot of the graphics you see on NBL Live, so if you or anyone you know needs graphics done for an affordable price, somebody that can do some creative graphics and some custom graphics, go to web3ks.com. All business over there will take great care of you. They've taken great care of the NBL network, and they are the leaders in affordable graphic design. So let's see if they get another play off. They do. Roethlisberger dropping back to pass on 2nd and 2. He's looking deep. Oh, that one should have been picked, but Antonio Brown with a catch into the end zone. Oh, the end of the quarter appears to be AB time as he goes 60 yards to the house. The Browns look like they had that route jumped, and Antonio Brown says, "No, thank you, sir. I'll take this one for a touchdown."
I mean, you just wait and wait for that one bad play by Ben Roethlisberger. He finally makes it, and you mess it up, and you give up a touchdown on top of it. That's just, you won't win games like that, and I'm not so sure these Cleveland Browns are going to be able to come back from 11 in 1 quarter against this Pittsburgh Steelers team.
Yeah, 11-point lead. That one's going to be tough. They do get the ball back there. As we've reached the 4th quarter, you're scoring the AFC Championship game. Pittsburgh up 28-17, folks. Reminder, stick with us at 8:30. Right after this game, we will have the NFC Championship game. Doubleheader action here on the network, as it'll be the Detroit Lions facing off against the New Orleans Saints. Saints coming out of that NFC South is a nice return up to the 34-yard line for the Cleveland Browns. Don't miss that one. That's going to be a great game here on the network. Coming up right after this one, we'll take the stream down for just a second to get all our graphics switched over, but we'll be right back on, so hit that subscribe button so you know when we're back live. Doubleheader action, and then we'll have our Super Bowl broadcast. It looks like it will probably be tomorrow night here on the NBL network, but we'll get that one scheduled. Follow us over on Twitter at Bomber League if you want to know when our game times are announced. We'll announce all that on the Twitter at Bomber League. 1st and 10. Jameis Winston back into the game, dropping back to pass, looks over to the left side for Zach Demanch. That one pops up in the air. Is it intercepted? I don't know if he got both feet in bounds. As that one, a very dangerous throw. I know you trust Zach Demanch, but at the end of the day, that coverage was tight on the outside. He had to have a better option elsewhere.
Yeah, that was a very tight throw by Jameis Winston. And they've had a very good offense so far, but like you said, it's been very methodical. Now they have to score quick and get a stop. Jameis Winston's going to start forcing a lot of passes, and it could get real ugly come the end of this 4th quarter.
Yeah, that has been sort of the mantra of Jameis Winston. The Browns have done a great job of not putting him in a lot of losing situations, but let's see if the Browns' play calling changes it all. Down 11. They don't need to score that quickly. They do need to score, and they do have to watch the clock, but they shouldn't forget about Isaiah Crowell because It's only a 2-possession game. They just need a touchdown and well, if they get a 2-point conversion, then it's just a field goal. 11-point game. Very doable here in the fourth quarter, but their defense and their offense is going to have to play strong. Third down, they don't give it to Crowell, and I hate seeing this. Hop, it bugs the living hell out of me to see teams come in on third down. You go, I'm going to hand the ball off, and instead of having Isaiah Crowell, who has been your back, that has done it the entire game, the entire playoffs, you have Duke Johnson in there. Why not have your number 1 back in there if you're running it on third down?
It makes absolutely 0 sense. And then you bring in Duke Johnson, the speed back, and send him right up the middle on a draw. It just makes no sense right there, OSU.
Well, now they're going for it on fourth down. Jameis Winston looking over the middle of the field for Njoku. That one double coverage. Just get the fat lady out there. That was a horrible decision on third down, and the Cleveland Browns have probably just squandered their opportunity to get to the Super Bowl, as now the Pittsburgh Steelers get the ball back in field goal range with their offense playing as well as they have. Basically, just get the fat lady singing, because there's no way the Cleveland Browns defense is going to get enough stops. They're hoping for a miracle or some mistakes from the hands of Le'Veon Bell, because you're about to see a whole lot of him. Toss play to Bell over the left side. Loss of 4 on the play. Going to bring up a 2nd and 13.
Good thing about the NBL rules, you can't chew clock till under 2 minutes, so they do have some time here. If they get a stop, hold them to 3, or even right now, if they get a stop, they're not in field goal range right now, so they do have a little time, but they need to do something quick.
Yeah, now 2nd and 13 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Ben Roethlisberger in the shotgun, 437 and counting. Le'Veon Bell to his left, 3 wide receivers out there, and give the ball to Le'Veon Bell. He's got a lot of room over the right side. Surprise there, because if Bell keeps that outside and runs towards the sidelines, I don't think anyone is catching him with his breakaway speed. Instead, he cuts it back inside, tries to bowl over Jabril Peppers. Instead, it's only going to be a 4-yard gain. Bring up a 3rd and 9 from the 37-yard line. Roethlisberger in the shotgun, 3 wide receivers, 2 over to the left, 1 over to the right. Le'Veon Bell to his left. It's going to be Roethlisberger dropping back to pass on 3rd down. The Browns get a sack and somehow get a stop, but they have to score and score quickly. And the decision-making by this Cleveland Browns offense has been questionable, to say the least, but they're going to get the ball back, somehow getting a sack on 3rd down. Let's see where this punt ends up, as they're punting from the 47-yard line. This one looks like a good one. It's going to be received inside the 5-yard line. Take it up to the 10, to the 15, past the 20, past the 25. Nope, just to the 24-yard line. As Cleveland and Jameis Winston going to have to play perfect football. They're down 11. They need points badly.
Yeah, I mean, 3:50 to go in the game. It's almost, if they score, they almost have to get kicking onside at this point. They do have 3 timeouts, though, so they can trust their defense. They did get a 3-and-out right there, but I don't know how much you can really trust this defense with the way the Pittsburgh offense has been.
1st and 10 for Jameis Winston and the Cleveland Browns. And that one, well, I think he was looking for Isaiah Crowell. Crowell running that little circle route on the left side. I don't know if Jameis Winston forgot what Crowell was running, but there was nobody there. Lucky there wasn't a defender waiting for that ball.
Man, he had the post naked right over the middle right there, too. It looks like Jameis Winston's really shook right now, and he's rushing his throws.
Yeah, well, you saw that 4th down play. He threw it to David Njoku, who was covered by 3 Pittsburgh Steelers. That was not the pass to make when you need to convert a 4th down. Now 2nd and 10 for Jameis Winston. Blitz coming, looks underneath for Kenny Britt, who comes up with a catch in tough coverage. Haven't heard Kenny Britt's name called a whole lot. Had a big catch in the divisional round. He gets his first catch of the day, and now bringing up a 3rd and 2 for the Cleveland Browns. It's Jameis Winston breaking the huddle. He's got 4 wide receivers, 2 to each side. Watch David Njoku in the slot. He's got Isaiah Crowell, who's in on 3rd down this time, but they don't hand him the ball. They throw him the ball, and he catches it and gets the first down to the 39-yard line, 3:22 and counting. They've got to be watching the clock.
Yeah, I mean, that's good and all. You got the first down, but you got to move the ball downfield. I mean, you're still on your side of the field and about to hit the 3-minute mark in the game, down 11. You got to go.
1st and 10, 4 wide receivers once again spread out for this Cleveland Browns team is on 1st down. Play action pass, Jameis Winston. He's going to be looking to throw, looking. He's got a lot of time. Looks over the middle of the field. Has Corey Coleman. It's caught at the 33-yard line. The Browns working their way downfield. And how explosive is this Browns team now with a healthy Corey Coleman on the field?
Yeah, and that's the first good throw since his injury that Jameis Winston's really had. Maybe he's finally got it shaken off and time to put one in the end zone here. Or even if you get stopped, kick the field goal, because you're going to have both regardless if you're going to win this game.
Yeah, 5 catches, 121 yards for Corey Coleman. What a game he's had. Gordon coming in motion on 1st and 10. Jameis Winston dropping back to pass. Looking over to the left side. Has a man. It's Josh Gordon. Gordon's got some room. He's going to be taken down to the 3-yard line. 2:41 and counting. Cleveland They're huddling up. They're making sure they get the right play called as they're at 1st and goal on the 3-yard line. Let's see what they decide to do as another big throw made by Jameis Winston. Might be shaking off that injury at the right time for the Browns. They need to punch this one in. Winston under center. Crowell in the backfield on 1st and goal. It's going to be Crowell. Try to find some room. Can't find some room on the outside. No gain on the play.
And we've seen it twice in this game before. They get to the goal line. They give it to Crowell. He walks right in. This time he stopped. How many more times can you go to him with 2 minutes and 18 seconds left before you got to get it in the end zone?
2nd and goal, 2:16 and counting. The Browns using a lot of this time. They're going to use that 2-minute warning before this one is up. It's on 2nd and goal. It's a pitch to Crowell on the left side. Blocking is sealed. Crowell turns upfield, but a huge tackle made at the goal line. He doesn't get in. Take it down to the half-yard line as Ragland came over to make the big tackle.
Oh, man, that was a huge tackle there by Ragland, who came over to the Steelers from the Buffalo Bills for, I think, a 3rd-round pick. Is that right?
I believe
that
so.
was a huge, not a game-saving tackle, but
I mean, it's huge. Because now a 3rd and goal, 2 tight ends on the left side of that formation. I formation, Crowell at the top of that I. It's going to be Crowell, cuts up the middle, and walks into the end zone. 23-28 your score. We're going to see a 2-point conversion attempt. You got to think as the Cleveland Browns need to punch a 2-point conversion in to make it a 3-point game. But that's not the hard part, Hop. The hard part is stopping the Pittsburgh Steelers offense as they're going to need to get a stop on 3 plays and get the ball back. Jameis Winston in the shotgun. How tough is this going to be? Duke Johnson in the game. No Isaiah Crowell.
Here we go again.
Corey Coleman coming in motion from the right side. Let's see what they decide to do. They hand it off to Duke Johnson, who does find the end zone this time. So cuts it to a 3-point game. Now it's all up to the Browns defense.
I know we say trust the Browns defense, trust their defense. They got them here. I really don't think they can stop them. I really want to see an onside kick right here, OSU. This could really come back to bite them.
Well, let's see what happens. This one is taken up past the 20, past the 25, and he's taken down at the 26-yard line. Well, let's see what happens, folks. They managed to get a stop when they needed on the last one. They need another one here. The Browns, who couldn't convert a 4th down to keep the ball. They are down 3. Pittsburgh with the ball. Cleveland all 3 timeouts. A lot of people in the chat questioning the lack of onside. Hop, you agree. You think they should have onside kicked this one?
I do, but I trust this defensive line here. I think they're going to get this 3 and out right here, OSU. I believe in Cleveland.
Well, Pittsburgh, you never know. They do love to throw the ball in these situations, getting early 1st down.
No way.
As Roethlisberger changing up the plays. He serves the defense. It's Roethlisberger dropping back to pass on 1st and 10. He dumps it off to the flat. It's Le'Veon Bell who's taken down to the 27-yard line. I love that play call from the Pittsburgh Steelers. You know you don't want to throw an incompletion, so you dump it off in the flat, which keeps the clock running, and you give Le'Veon Bell a chance to make a play on the outside.
There's about 2 teams in the NBL that I can say I can have confidence in having that play call in this type of game. Them and the Detroit Lions. Other than that, nobody else would have threw that pass in the NBL, I don't think. That was a very risky pass, but Big Ben's the best passer in the NBL for a reason, and he just showed why.
NBL Live broadcast number 162. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Reminder, we've got the NFC Championship game following this one. A great one here on NBL Live. Follow up with another great one. The Lions and the Saints going head-to-head right after this game. We'll take down the stream. We'll come back on at 8:30 Eastern Time as the handoff to Bell. He's taken down to the 28-yard line. And now we have it, folks. 3rd and 8. Post in the chat. Do the Browns have a chance in this one? Will they get a stop here on 3rd down? Hop, if you're the Browns, what defense are you coming out in?
I don't know. I was going to say stay in your base defense. You have to stop the run, but he threw it on 1st down. What makes you think he's not going to throw it on 3rd and 8 here? So I really don't know. This is a very tough call. 3 receiver set. Oh, man. This is the play of the year for the Cleveland Browns. See what they can do. Let's
see if the Pittsburgh Steelers can convert. 3rd and 8, 3 wide receivers, 2 over to the right, 1 to the left. This is your ball game. Roethlisberger dropping back to pass on 3rd down. Steps up over the middle. He has a man. It's Antonio Brown who fumbles it, and it's picked up by Jesse James. And that is going to be the ball game, folks. They left 84 Antonio Brown wide open. How do you leave a guy like Antonio Brown, who has had so many big catches, wide open on 3rd down to save your season?
Oh, man, OSU, that's just a heartbreaker right there. Not only did they give a pass up, then he fumbles, and you let them recover it again. Oh, Cleveland's not going to forget this game. Oh, man,
indeed, as the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to go on to their 2nd straight Super Bowl. They were there in season 27, folks, and they came away with the victory. The 4th Super Bowl for owner Lip. He's looking for number 5 as the Pittsburgh Steelers come out I formation. They're going to hand this one off to Le'Veon Bell. Cuts up the middle, and he's got a first down, and the party has started here in Pittsburgh as the Steelers are going to come away with a victory 28-25 over the Cleveland Browns. Hop, you look back at this game, and it always comes down to you look at mistakes more than great plays. No doubt, both teams played fantastic games. Both teams deserve to be here. But the fumble by Jameis Winston, the inability to intercept that ball that Antonio Brown took to the house, and then the 4th down play that Cleveland couldn't take. They had plenty of opportunities in this game. It just turns out they weren't quite ready to get to the Super Bowl.
I think you're right, but even with all the mistakes that they did make, they were still right here in this game to the end. I had to give mad props out to the Cleveland Browns owner Z-Star for taking this team to what was a decent team to a very, very good team in the NBL. Now they just happen to run into the hottest team in the NBL.
Well, and you look at the Cleveland Browns, Hop, and I think that's sort of the interesting part is the Browns don't look like they're going anywhere because they've got a lot of young talent. Myles Garrett, Zach DeManch, all these guys are very young. So if you're thinking the Cleveland Browns is a one-and-done, sort of a flash in the pan, this Browns team's going to be around for a while. They're going to be challenging this Pittsburgh Steelers team, who on the flip side is getting much older. Antonio Brown getting up there in age. Ben Roethlisberger, even though he signed a contract extension, is not the young quarterback that he once was. There's a lot of age on this Pittsburgh Steelers team. What do you foresee from the Cleveland Browns coming over the next couple of seasons?
I look for them to keep building on the success. Jameis Winston is going to keep getting better. They're going to keep adding pieces throughout the draft. It depends on how long Big Ben plays. As long as Big Ben is on the Pittsburgh Steelers, they're going to win that division and be the powerhouse of the AFC. But the transition from Big Ben to the next quarterback that comes in, that's going to be the question of when Cleveland can really overtake the AFC North.
Your final score here, folks. 1 seed in the Super Bowl is filled. It's going to be the AFC champion Pittsburgh Steelers back-to-back years as they come out on top 28-25. A hard-fought battle over the Cleveland Browns, folks. Again, don't go anywhere. We've got the NFC Championship game coming up in 25 minutes, 8:30 Eastern Time. Hit that subscribe button down below so you know when we're back live because that's going to be a great one. Lions and Saints back here on the network. But it's time to make our selection for the NBL Live Player of the Game here for broadcast number 162. Hop, there are a lot of names that come out. Ben Roethlisberger was his regular old great self. I'm going to give you 2 names, and you pick which one. I'll let you choose the player of the game. I'll give you 1 defense and 1 offense. On the defensive side, Bud Dupree, 3 sacks. He forced that 1 fumble, the only turnover of the game. He was fantastic for the Pittsburgh Steelers. On the flip side, I'm going to give you Antonio Brown because he had so many big catches, and he had a huge touchdown, the one that ended up being the game winner. Who do you like for player of the game?
It's got to go into Antonio Brown. I mean, he had the 2 big touchdown catches, and then he had the big catch to seal the game, even though he fumbled. But 180 yards at age 31, it's got to go Antonio Brown right here. Antonio
Brown, an unbelievable game. He'll be your player of the game for broadcast number 162. And if you want to check out all of our player of the game archives, it's over on our website, 365.maddenbomberleague.com, under the NBL Live tab. You can check it out all the way back to broadcast number 1. It's a fun look back into NBL history, and if you're interested in joining the NBL, under the Join tab at 365.maddenbomberleague.com, you can apply to join the NBL. Hop, we got one more game. We've got 1 seed in the Super Bowl filled. Pittsburgh Steelers into the Super Bowl. Now we got another game coming up, 8:30 Eastern Time. It's going to be the Saints and the Lions. What do you foresee in that game?
I don't know. My heart tells me it's going to be the Lions that's going to pull it out. Matt Stafford's been having a great year. They have Harvey Beckham. They have the receiving core. But New Orleans Saints are real hot, OSU. They are real hot. Ross Bonham's back healthy. He's playing great. You have Michael Thomas playing great. It's going to be a very, very good game. I'm not ready to make my prediction just yet, but it's going to be a very good one.
That's 8:30 Eastern Time here on the network. Hit that subscribe button so you know when we're back live. 25 minutes away, folks. You're not going to want to miss it. For my co-host, Hop, I'm OSU. Your final score once again, the Pittsburgh Steelers go to back-to-back Super Bowls. They come away with a close win, 28-25 over the Cleveland Browns. We'll see you at 8:30 Eastern Time. NFC Championship, Lions and Saints. Don't miss it. It'll be right here on NBL Live.